Hey guys, Blue Rabbit here, and today I am going to be opening this Touken Ranbu scale. This is Hotarumaru from Touken Ranbu Online. He is part of the Kotobukiya ARTFX J line, and for now I have mixed feelings because I don't own a good smile company Touken Ranbu scale, but I'm a little worried that they'll look sort of awkward next to each other, because sometimes if you have two scales made by different companies, they'll kind of look quite different as well, and that's what's worrying me right now. I mean, don't get me wrong, ARTFX J-line tends to be also pretty well done, and it does mean that he's cheaper than a good smile company scale as well. He was about $65 for me, while the scales made by Good Smile Company tend to be about almost $100 or so. So there's quite a difference in the price range, and I'm a little worried that you'll be able to notice the quality difference. So I'm also kind of hoping Good Smile will eventually pick him up as well in a scale, but I do not know. I would be okay with that because he is my favorite sword, so I would also pick up that scale. Anyways, today is just going to be a quick unboxing and review of his scale in case anybody else is interested in picking him up. He is going to be my first ARTFXJ figure. I do plan on ordering more, but he'll be my first one, and I'm really happy that he is because he is just so precious and lovely. And alright, let's just get started with that. Alright, so here is the top of his box, and here is the bottom. I ordered him through Ami Online in case anybody else is interested in picking him up. Alright, quite excited to get him with us. I'm quite excited to see him. It hasn't been long since his announcement and his release, but still I have been waiting for him, and I'm so happy he is here. It's quite difficult to open the box though. Alright. I have to say I am a really big fan of this box design. It is so pretty and so cute. Eek! Okay. So here he is in his lovely little blister. Just set him up there. So here he is in his blister. All right. Okay, so he does come with stuff on the bottom attached. Okay. Honestly, I have actually no idea what is in this, so I believe they're just instructions. Yep, and they're just instructions. It's quite nice that they put it in like sort of a plastic bag on its own, and it was wrapped so tightly to the blister pack itself. Most instructions I see are pretty loose leaf, so it's quite interesting. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to let him free. Oh, here's a little bit of tape right here. And here he is. Oh my gosh, I'm a little too excited right now. I have to say, she looks so great. Okay, so I am going to start off. Oops, sorry about that. I'm going to start off with his base, which looks like this. So it's like a bright green with a gold inlay of his symbol. And for those that do not know, this is Hotarumaru's symbol in Touken Ranbu Online. You can also see it on that box back there. This is kind of like his crest that that represents him. Nice, okay. Let me just put this up here so he's a little easier to see. Okay, so we're just gonna look at his sword. Alright, so here is his sword. It is quite long. So here is his sword. It is very long, and that is true to his character design as well. In my opinion, I believe they went very well from the original character design to the actual sculpted product. I believe it turned out pretty well and pretty true to his character, which is nice. So if you can see on that scabbard, there's like quite a bit of detail on it. That's very nice. Something that I did not expect. Okay, and now we will look at the figure himself. So here he is. This is Hotarumaru. I know there were a couple people when he was being, made and his prototype was shown that didn't like his legs because they, sort of looked like the knee was too detailed or like too chubby, but I really like it. I think it really does show that he's still a child and he's not like a grown man kind of thing. So I actually quite like him the way he is. And I really love this like surprised expression on his face. So far, I am really liking him. For how much he costs, I do think that the detail is very well done. Especially nowadays when prices of figures are increasing costs. He looks amazing. So here he is. Okay, so I'm going to put them together. And here is Hotarumaru on his little stand. I think he came out great. I really like the way they made him look. The face is a little bit off, but overall I'm quite happy with the way he came out. I just want to let everyone also know though that because of his price, you get what you expect of the ARTFX J line, which is that while the paint job is great, there are instances in which it goes slightly out of the line or in the line, and for the most part though, he looks great. He has some very nice detailed qualities that I will point out soon. But please also don't expect a completely good quality figure like the Ultra line or Good Smile Company's scale line. Those tend to be either more detailed and have better paint jobs because of the higher cost. But that is not to say that Hotarumaru looks bad in any way at all. He still looks fantastic. To find those paint faults, you'd have to go closer up, and even then, it's nothing horrible. I didn't find any paint flecks or anything like that. The only thing I am worried about was his putting in his sword is quite a tight fit, and it makes sense with the way he's holding it. He's holding it facing down, and so that you have gravity working against the sword, but he has to be holding it right at the hilt. So it makes sense that it's supposed to be a tight fit, but I'm a little bit worried about paint transfer happening from the sword to his hand or his hand to the sword. So I would not recommend moving that sword around too much. But other than that, putting him on his base was quite easy, and he does have a nice weight to him, which I quite like a lot. So it doesn't feel like he is going to topple over anytime soon. Okay, and now let's get on to a more detailed close-up look at him. Okay, so here is a closer look at him. I love that you can see there's enough detail to see the crests on his hat and his little lapel. There's also a lot of detail on his arm guard and on his hands. And as I pointed out before as well, his sword scabbard, although you can't quite see it in this position, also has a lot of detail on it, on both the top and the bottom. I also quite like his little cape. I think it's a great way they put it him in a more slightly dynamic pose than his normal standard pose. So they chose this slightly more dynamic one, which I actually quite love. Another thing I really love about his figure is the cape work they did on him. Like that gold detail is quite fantastic, and it goes all the way around his cape and even behind him. I also like this little crest they kept on his pants. It was really well done, and it's quite detailed. Hotarumaru is one of my favorite swords, and I'm extremely happy that Kotobukiya decided to pick him up and do a scale of him. I'm also hoping that eventually Good Smile will also do a complete scale of him. I know they are releasing a Nendroid next month, but I would also love to see him using their quality scale. I'm extremely happy though. I love the pose that they chose, and although to me the face seems a little bit off from what I was thinking of he would look like, he looks fantastic. Anyway guys, that's my review of the Hotarumaru scale from Kotobukiya ARTFX J-Line. Thank you for watching. Bye bye!